PTV, Telebisyon ng Bayan.
Good morning, Malacañang Press Corps and guests. Welcome sa press briefing ni Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. We're privileged this morning to have two lovely ladies. I don't know if they want to be referred to as ladies, but anyway, today is, we have invited Chairperson Rodora T. Masilang Bukoy and Executive Director Emeline Versosa of the Philippine Commission on Women. Chairperson Rodora Bukoy and Executive Director Emeline Versosa have been invited simply to, not simply, precisely because we are highlighting Women's Month. All right. Dr. Bukoy is a retired Associate Professor of Political Science and Development and Gender Studies at the University of the Philippines, Cebu. She's a recognized gender and development champion, human rights advocate, and practitioner and educator. Executive Director Emeline Versosa, on the other hand, has over 35 years of experience in gender development, women's empowerment, health and nutrition, first as an NGO worker and a nutrition professor, and later as an independent consultant. They very substantial things to share with us this morning. So without further ado, we'd like you to welcome our guests, PCW Chairperson Rodora Bukoy and Executive Director Emeline Versosa. Chairperson will speak first. You'll have a few minutes of speaking, and then we'll have a Q&A afterwards.
Good morning, Mayong buntag, the beautiful men and women of the Malacañang Press Corps. Good morning to Secretary Abella. I would like to present this year's theme of the National Women's Month celebration, spearheaded by the Philippine Commission on Women. If you have read our statement and have gone through the website of the PCW, this year's National Women's Month is celebrated with the theme, "We Make Change Work for Women." And we here, aside from meaning us or tayo, stands also for the concept women empowerment, which is a fundamental goal that we seek to achieve in our gender mainstreaming program in the government. And we want to ensure that change would really benefit our women, especially the vulnerable sectors of our society. And when we say we mean that this is a collective effort of all. This is a multi-stakeholders effort involving government, which is a duty bearer to implement the Magna Carta of Women, the civil society organizations, and all other, and even the private sector. The word change is a theme, also stands for compassionate and harmonized actions and networks for gender equality, change. And this refers to the need for synergy and convergences among different actors to ensure that we are able to achieve the fundamental goals of gender equality and women empowerment. The first letters of our theme stands also for MCW, which is the Magna Carta of Women. The Magna Carta of Women is, of course, our comprehensive law addressing equality and non-discrimination. It is the Philippine version of the Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, and it covers women's socio-cultural, economic, civil, and political rights. Our celebration this year aims to promote the full implementation of the Magna Carta of Women from the national down to the barangay level. They asked me to look huge and larger, facing the strong men and women of the Malacañang Press Corps. As I have said, we focus on the full implementation of the Magna Carta of Women, And this was clearly enunciated by the President, if you recall, in his first State of the Nation address last July 2016. Furthering the empowerment of Filipino women requires that the issues and challenges articulated in the Magna Carta of Women, as well as implementing the programs and services, correspond to the issues and challenges which will be later elaborated by Executive Director Mian Verzosa. At the same time, our present administration under PRRD has laid out its development agenda, Goals through Ambition 2040, which identifies matatag, maginhawa at panatag na buhay as the cornerstone of the government endeavors. Our press briefing this morning will therefore focus on presenting the state of the Filipino women in the country on key areas, especially political empowerment, health, violence against women, and other issues and concerns. I welcome you all to this press briefing in connection with our celebration of the Women's Month. Isang makabuluhan at maligayang selebrasyon ng ating buwan ng kababaihan. Good morning.
Okay. Do I need the razor? Good morning, or magandang tanghali na po. Isang maligaya at makabuluhang pagdiriwang po ng Buwan ng Kababaihan. Presidential Spokesperson Abelia, yes, and members of the press corps. Sana makabuluhan talaga ang ating pagdiriwang. No? At nagpapasalamat kami sa PCO at sa office na napaunlakan kami ng press briefing na ito. Well, we've come a long way in making and measuring the progress of gender equality and women's empowerment in the Philippines. The Philippine Commission on Women is 41 years old. We were established in 1975, so we've really had a lot of efforts already in terms of pushing for women's empowerment and gender equality. So alongside what the chair said, following the anchor of Ambition 2040 of being matatag, maginhawa, at panatag na buhay, allow me to focus on specific areas on the situation of women. In terms of health, on women's health and wellness, that is malusog at ligtas na pamumuhay which makes us matatag. A stable life or matatag na buhay requires that the Filipino women is healthy and well. And what is the measure for that? Filipino women, we know, has a longer life expectancy than men, and that is common to all many countries. And that is also what one of the factors that make us, along with education, number 7 in the World Economic Forum Gender Gap Index. Pinagmamalaki po natin yan. We're the only country in Asia who has been in the top 10 since 2006. We lag only in terms of economic empowerment and political participation, but we hope that we will remain in the top 10 in the years to come. So aside from life expectancy, we are, however, worried about maternal mortality ratios. If you recall the MDGs, we did not meet the target of 52. The data hovers around 200, 221, and using the National Demographic and Health Survey and the Family Health Survey, 2021 yan as of 2011. But we were able to pass the reproductive health law, and therefore we hope that with DOH at the helm, and with the participation of the local government units as well as the private sector and the NGOs, we will fully implement the reproductive health law so that women will have better access to the means so that they can plan their families, they can plan their pregnancies and space them properly. And we also ask the men to do their part in this reproductive health concerns. What is worrisome, however, is that the rate of teenage pregnancies is increasing. If we look at the 2013 Young Adult Fertility Survey, or the YAFS, they reported that girls aged 15 to 19 who became mothers rose to 13.6% from 6.3 in 2002. Imagine. So that's almost double. And bringing this about is the high prevalence of premarital sex among young adults, which researchers report rose from 23.2% in 2002 to 32% in 2013. So more males, 35.5%, versus females, 28%, are now engaging in premarital sex. And that is usually unsafe and unprotected, and that runs to about 78% are unprotected. These numbers are alarming and bring to the fore issues on adolescent reproductive health and comprehensive sexuality education. And we know that at the Department of Education, lessons now, they're now tweaking the curriculum so that gender sensitivity training is being done, as well as comprehensive sexuality education. Age appropriate is done, is given to them. We are also happy that the President has, in his SONA, and EO has already issued full implementation of the Reproductive Health Act. In education, we know that the Commission on Higher Education has created a technical panel so that policies, standards, and guidelines for state universities and colleges, higher educational institutions, can be guided in case they want to set up a gender studies program for masteral women's studies. So that's underway, and we are part of the committee who reviews all this, and that should be launched pretty soon. At the CHED as well, cases of sexual harassment has been happening, so that they monitor the creation of the Committee on Decorum and Investigation in all state colleges and universities. And some professors who have been found guilty of sexual harassment have already been dismissed. And unlike before na linilipat lang sa another school or another college, the policy now of CHED is really to dismiss them totally. In TESDA, they continue to provide non-traditional courses for women. We know that women have been known to be very good welders, and they can learn also about electronic and automotive so that they can have higher incomes. In political representation and participation, at least in the House of Representatives, the number of women in the House has increased from 26% in the last administration to the current 29%. But in the House and in the Senate, we know that there are 6 women, so that's 25% who are women in the Senate. In the executive branch, we also monitor the number of women in third-level positions or who occupy career executive service positions, and the current number is 43%, a lag with the target that has been set in the Magna Carta of Women of 50-50. So we encourage those who are hindi pa na-appoint, sana po may pagtanaw na I'm sure there are a lot of qualified women who have yet to be appointed from assistant director up to undersecretary, and we are watching that and we are counting that. Let me go to women's economic empowerment, which is our maginhawa at maunlad na buhay anchor. When we talk of women's economic empowerment, Filipino women are laborers, workers in the informal economy, entrepreneurs, overseas workers, agricultural, fishery, forestry workers, as well as home managers and family care givers. So that's a whole range. And so women are no longer confined to the home. We know that. They are very productive citizens. And in implementing the Magna Carta of Women, provisions pertaining to the rights and empowerment of the marginalized sectors need to be strengthened now more than ever. And that is the focus that we are now doing in partnership with the Department of Agriculture, Department of Agrarian Reform, DNR, and the like, including the NCIP and the Bangsamoro communities. The number of landowners, for example, is very low. Emancipation patents, for example, is only 13.8% to women compared to 86.2% in 2015. And among those awarded CLOAs, or Certificate of Land Ownership and Agreements, 32% lang ang sa kababaihan. The Magna Carta of Women also directs the establishment of investment-friendly environment and provision for technical support, returning migrant workers. We all know that there are a lot of migrant women. When they return, we hope that they would be able to come back and serve the country as well. So we know that OWA, as well as the National Reintegration Center for OFWs, have programs in line so that OFWs who wish to come back can have jobs as well as opportunities and skills and capital to set up their own businesses and to help the fellow Filipinos who remain here. The pursuit of decent work and access to social protection are also directed by the Magna Carta of Women. And this, we are concerned very much with workers in the informal economy or the informal sector. Kasi they don't have the social insurance, they don't have paid vacation leaves, they don't have sick leaves, they don't have maternity leaves, so they don't have security of tenure. So these are very vulnerable groups of women, and majority of those people in the informal sector, like vendors, are women, and so we are concerned about that. So women have nothing to cushion them from the impact of economic crisis or in the event of illness, disability, work injury, unemployment, or old age. At least now, we are seeing the pension, if they do pay their own individual pensions, with SSS, we are seeing an increase, so that's something good. And we also know that PhilHealth's target is universal health care. That's also good. And we know that the extended maternity leave is about to be a law. We know that the Senate has recently passed it on third reading, and we're monitoring the House of Representatives to pass the extended maternity leave as well. And that should benefit formal employment, formally employed workers. Pag informal, yun nga, wala sila. So when we come to entrepreneurs, we know that when we talk of MSMEs or MISMEs, micro, small, medium enterprises, majority of them are women. 90%, over 90% are in micro. The big businesses are very, very small amount, and they're usually women who start up their businesses, but when they become big, kuminsan linilipat yung pangalan ng negosyo niya sa lalaki. So that's something that we also need to talk about. But what is important is to converge the services that micro-entrepreneurs need so that they can move up the value chain. So access to credit, access to technology, access to information, access to skills, as well as leadership so that they can move up and become members of their board are the things that we work with together with the Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Labor, Agriculture and Science and Technology. In our Great Women Project, this is a Canadian project that the Philippine Commission on Women has been implementing as a policy-making and coordinating body. We've seen good results when agencies converge their efforts and move away from working in silos. Results happen, as we have seen in our project sites in the LGUs. Allow me now to move to panatag na buhay. Violence against women is still an important issue that women face. In the National Demographic and Health Survey of 2013, this is the prevalence of violence against women. We see 1 out of 5 women who are physically abused. That can run to millions of women of reproductive age 15 to 49. And that has not differed from the 2008 figure. We hope that when they conduct the survey this year, this will move, because we know that we have been having a lot of annual campaigns to end violence against women every November, so that women can be have the courage to break their silence. No, it's not, hindi na yon tama na if a woman is beaten up that she should remain silent. It is now a public crime. It is not a private matter, because we have laws which protect women, the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act. But there's very few who are reporting their cases. No, the PNP reports in 2015, for example, 30,800. Last year, it went up by 4,000 cases, 34,800. So kulang pa rin yung pag-report, so that these women do not have to suffer in silence when their partners or their loved ones beat them up or curse them or treat them like a doormat. So violence against women and girls happen not only inside their homes, but also in schools, workplaces, streets, public transport systems, and media. So advancing information technology has given rise to new forms of violence against women and girls, particularly cyber prostitution and cyber pornography. Various news agencies have reported that cyber pornography was declared by the PNP as the #1 crime in the Philippines, and that the country is among the top 10 countries where cyber pornography is rampant. Victim blaming by both men and women in cases of harassment and other forms of violence against women is still rampant. The PSA, Statistical Authority, estimates in terms of rape that 28 persons are raped daily. The PNP is the basis of their estimation, which tabulated 4,738 cases in 2012, rising up to 10,200 in 2015. So, the Magna Carta of Women, again, directs mandatory training of gender and human rights for all government personnel involved in the protection and defense of women against gender-based violence. It also directs all barangays to establish a violence against women desk to assist, among others, violence against women victim survivors. To date, the DILG reports that 88% of the 42,036 barangays have already established a VOW desk. The question is the person whom they designated as the VOW desk officer knowledgeable of what to do when a VOW victim goes to her? So we do have an assessment tool and a functionality protocols to determine the functionality of the violence against women desks, and we are currently training together with the DILG how these VOW desks can be functional. There are lots of good practices. Davao City, for one, is our local learning hub, where they have a very good referral system within the city. They have full-time lawyers who can help these women, and we hope that other LGUs can follow suit with the good practices that these cities have. Women are also affected by disasters and climate change, so there are efforts that we work with the NDRRMC. We advocate that in relief, they have hygiene kits for specific needs of women. The DSWD should be setting up women-friendly spaces in evacuation sites so that women are not vulnerable to traffickers or illegal recruiters. We also advocate that women participate in terms of recovery and rehabilitation. When they start planning the community and the houses, women's voices must be there. Briefly, role of media. Of course, we recognize that the Magna Carta of Women has a Media and Gender Equality Committee chaired by the PCOO, and that the task is, it's a multi-agency body, interagency body. The task is to make sure that women are portrayed in a non-derogatory manner, and if we could portray women in positive roles rather than laging malungkot o biktima. No? So that's, we do that in partnership with PCO and PCW being the co-chair or vice chair. So again, our National Women's Month with the theme, We Make Change Work for Women. What kind of changes do we want to see? Change can be sudden and radical, and we must learn how to adapt to change. We should welcome change and be transformed in the process. Let us be mindful of our own biases and prejudices. Let us keep an open mind, speak the truth, and respect differences. We call on our partners in government, in non-government and civil society organizations, academe, and the private sector to continue working for the elimination of abuse and exploitation, discrimination, and disparities. Let us recommit to the full implementation of the Magna Carta of Women and all women-related laws. Let us work for true change. And change for us means compassionate and harmonized actions and networks for gender equality and empowerment of all women and girls. Our change shall move towards attaining our ambition 2040 of a strongly rooted or matatag, comfortable or maginhawa, and a secure, that's panatag, life for all Filipinos. Let us continue to become agents of change and become the change which we envision to see. Again, magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat. Salamat.
Malacañang Press Corps, questions? Jen Cabiling, Manila Bulletin, for Ms. Emeline Versosa.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, may we know your position on rape being included in the list of offenses punishable by death? Are you in favor of its inclusion?
Would you like to answer? We don't have an official position in terms of the Philippine Commission on Women because we have yet to convene our board. We have our board is composed of 10 government agencies as well as 12 non-government organizations, representatives, sectoral representatives, and not all of them have been appointed yet.
Follow up? Other question? Joseph Morong, GMA 7.
Good morning po.
Rose Novenario.
Kailan po kayo makakapag-convene at may plano po ba kayong idulog sa Kongreso yung rape isama sa death penalty?
Meron po kaming ibang panukala tungkol sa rape.
Ano po yun?
Sinusulong po namin baguhin po yung anti-rape law na isama dun sa definition ng rape ay lack of consent as the center of the definition of rape. Kasi we've seen a lot of cases of date rape where the rapists have been acquitted. Now, we have 2 celebrated cases actually which have reached CEDAW, which is the expert body in Geneva. And they've found us to have found grave violations because the judges acquitted the rapist because date. So, ang definition dapat, pag nagsabi ang babaeng no, no yon. At hindi na kailangan hanapin na tumakbo siya, o napunit siya, or may dugo, ganyan, yung struggle. No? Because usually, when that happens, the women just freeze and just don't know what to do. So that should be the center of rape. The other amendment that we would like to see is to raise the age of statutory rape, because as of now, it is 12. So we would like it raised to 16, at least 16. In other countries, it's 18. But we're happy to make it 16. There are also provisions on the forgiveness clause. Because our current anti-rape law, RA 8353, includes marital rape. So it doesn't mean that if you're married and your husband wants to have sex and you don't want to, you cannot force himself on you. So meron na rin pong jurisprudence on that. But however, the current rape says that if there is forgiveness, hindi mawalang bahala. So the CEDAW committee has also been recommending that the state, because we are signatories to this International Human Rights Treaty, to look into the forgiveness clause so that it is removed. That is our rape law.
Joseph Morong, GMA 7, to be followed by AC Nicole, CNN Philippines.
Can I just get again your data?
Yes.
Yung rape data nyo, just only caught that 28 persons are raped every
Yes.
day. This is what year?
Hold on. That's in the, if you check the website of the PSA,
Okay, but we
they
have
have,
it now
yeah,
with
I
you?
have it here. They have a women, fact sheets on women and men. Okay, let me see. 28% are raped every day.
Percent or people?
Persons, sorry. Persons, that's what I said. There. In 2015, PSA estimates that 28 persons are raped daily. The basis is PNP's reported cases of rape, which has been increasing from 2012, from 4,738 cases to 10,298 in 2015.
Ma'am, just a clarification. So statutory rape, you
12.
prefer na 16 to 12?
From 12. From 12, we need to raise it up to 16.
Because again?
Because parang age of consent rin yun eh. Parang bata pa yun pag 16 and below. 16 and below.
Ibig sabihin,
16 is too low.
mag-agree siya to something. Yung 16, pag 12,
Pag
at
12,
present it's 12.
Pag 12 currently ngayon. Okay, so the rapist gets higher penalties if he rapes a 12-year-old. Now,
Okay.
if he rapes a 15-year-old, he should be also getting a higher penalty because below 16 is still a child.
Yes.
Di ba? A child is 18.
Yes.
So, child pa rin siya. So, wala pa siyang sense of consent or discernment, the age of discernment. So, we want to raise the age of discernment, bale. That's following. Yeah,
Why not
it follows the age of discernment. Why? Yeah, well, 18, pwede rin. Actually, some of our drafts were 18. Pero consensus yon with the other government agencies. No?
Ma'am, should rape be excluded from the list of crimes that can be punished by death penalty? As a woman crusader, I mean, if it's hard for the Women Commission to come up with a board position, at least from you guys, who's leading the commission?
Madam Chair.
Because this is policy. I mean,
Yeah, it
you're
is
coming from
policy.
an official.
From that, yeah. Huh?
Is that so
Reclusion
hard to come
perpetua.
up with a position?
May I ask my chairperson?
Actually, there's still discussions and exchanges regarding this issue because within government, we are encouraged to do a lot of critiquing of important policies that are being pushed through. But as of now, among the women's groups, there are still those that the best punishment would be reclusion perpetua. So forever the person that committed rape will suffer instead of immediately snapping. But with due respect to the House of Representatives in pushing for this, we believe that at PCW we continue to reflect on this fundamental issue that even divides the House and the Senate. So we are still continuing our discernment on this very fundamental issue.
So, ibig sabihin, ma'am, reclusion is a better punishment than
That's for
death.
me personally, but the Commission has come up with pros and cons even of the death penalty issue. And in our still unfinished proposal, which will be subjected to scrutiny by the board, we raise also pros of the proposal as well as con. And we will be releasing that once we are able to firm up with this recommendation or position on the death penalty issue.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Questions? No more? Okay, thank you, Philippine Commission on Women Chair Rodora Bukoy and Executive Director Emily Versosa, Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella.
Thank you. Thank you. You can say. All right. Good morning. We'd like to give a few updates. Tomorrow we celebrate Women's Day. And it's a timely way to celebrate by announcing that the Palace welcomes the good news that 8 out of 10 of the top notchers in the graduating class of PMA are women. The nation expects that these women cadets or scholars of the Filipino people would perform their duties to their abilities. We're proud of their achievements in the academy and expect the best when they serve our armed forces, where they would decide, lead, motivate, set example, and accomplish the mission to defend the Republic. Also, the Duterte administration's Philippine Development Plan 2017 to 2022 is now available in the NEDA official website. We're pleased to announce that everyone can now access the Philippine Development Plan 2017-2022 online. It is anchored in pushing forward the 10-point socioeconomic agenda of the Duterte administration. This is also the first step in achieving our long-term vision dubbed as Ambition 2040. Also, President Duterte has approved the 2017 IPP, or Investment Priorities Plan. The investment areas consist of manufacturing, including agri-processing, agriculture, fishery and forestry, strategic services, infrastructure and logistics, including local government unit and public-private partnership, healthcare services, including drug rehabilitation, mass housing, inclusive business models, environment and climate change, innovative drivers, energy and export businesses. In other words, everything to provide a sound business environment. We're open to a few questions.
May follow-up questions, statement, other issue, Aisin Nichols, CNN Philippines.
Hi, sir. Sir,
Yes.
can we get the palace reaction? There's this upcoming episode on a U.S. show called Madam Secretary, wherein it seems like the President of the Philippines is being portrayed. In fact, it's written in the description. and the character ends up being punched by the leading role, the Madam Secretary, because the Philippine president, the new unconventional Philippine president, made a pass at the Madam Secretary.
I think they're confusing their images. I think they're projecting something that they really would like to say about their own situation. Really, I think they should use a fictional U.S. president. Thank you.
Question, Maricel Halili, please use the microphone.
Sir, just to follow up, don't you find it insulting that some U.S. actors are portraying this kind of role for?
Well, they engage in something that they would like to. It's their business, right? It's their craft. You cannot deny them their craft. Their taste, perhaps.
Okay, Laila Salaverian.
Good afternoon, sir. We'd just like to get confirmation. Is it true that the President berated Mindanao lawmakers for supposedly trying to bribe him on behalf of a cigarette company? And did the President order the arrest of the owner of this company?
Actually, that's really a matter of cabinet conversation. However, since you have brought it up, he simply was saying, he was not berating Mindanao politicians. He was simply saying that in time past, there was a certain attempt to influence him financially.
Who made the offer? How did it go down?
I think that should be better kept. Why
Sir,
not?
it's the President being bribed, so why would?
No, because he was not making a public statement, right? It was being discussed within the cabinet. So let's let the natural processes of, let's let due process take its.
Sir, did he order the arrest or the prosecution or the investigation of anybody involved in this scenario?
Let's just say let's watch the DOJ. Go ahead. Thank you.
Dexter Ganibe, DZMM.
Yes, sir.
Sir, follow up dun sa kay Laila.
Yes,
Ang may reports na binabanggit ngayon, naghahanda ang NBI for the possible surrender of this yung Mighty Corporation today for the bribery attempt.
Then antayin na lang po natin kung ano po mangyayari. Salamat po.
Follow up. Joseph Morong, GMA 7.
Sir, this is a bribery attempt on the president. Why shouldn't it be public?
Simply because he has not commented on it publicly. If he feels he should, then he will. Okay.
Sir, Mighty Corporation ba ito?
I don't have any opinions regarding the matter. Thank you.
Okay.
Any facts about it, sir? Any other information?
Like I said, these things were discussed. Some things were discussed in the cabinet, and it's best to leave it there for the moment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joseph. Hannah Sancho, other issue?
Sir, during the cabinet meeting po, may in-announce ba ang Pangulo sa mga bagong appointment? Like, yung pumalit kay Lavinia?
Ay, hindi po na-discuss yan.
Pero na-mention po kanina sa press ko ni Secretary Piñol na si Visaya po ang in-appoint ng Pangulo.
Ganun ba?
In-announce daw last night sa cabinet. Can you confirm, sir?
Nothing. I don't think anything has yet reached the office of the Executive Secretary, so we only speak officially here. Thank you.
Deo de Guzman? Microphone, please.
Morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kasi po, regarding po doon, kasi nabanggit na rin kay Secretary Piñol, regarding the reorganization of PCOO, na sa inyo po under ang content and messaging. And yet kahapon po kasi, itong si Secretary Piñol, mas mabilis po na naglalabas ng content and messaging regarding dun sa cabinet meeting at nauunahan po kayo. Ano po ang talagang stand po ba? Kasi po parang yung naka-quote namin is from Department of Agriculture na dapat na from the presidential spokesman. Paano po bang magiging proseso nun?
Katulad po na sinabi, dapat makinig tayo sa spokesperson. Salamat po.
So you're saying sir na hindi po namin dapat paniniwalaan yung sinasabi ni Secretary Piñol na nasa cabinet meeting na rin, high-ranking official din naman po.
Wala pa akong sinasabing ganyan. Ang sinasabi lang po natin, sundan po natin yung proseso. Kung tagapagsalita po, ang Office of the Presidential is the OPS, then doon po tayo makinig.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Kasi we're waiting po din kahapon about updates on the cabinet meeting. Wala din po lumalabas under...
Kasi po tinitimbang natin.
Okay.
Diba?
Okay.
Thank you.
Other issue? Follow up?
Update na
Pia
lang din.
Rañada.
Okay. Unahin natin si Ms. Pia. Sige.
Hi, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
ma'am.
CA members in the Senate say that they are likely or they are actually sure to reject the appointment of Secretary Yasay tomorrow because of the issue of him denying owning a U.S. passport under oath and then just yesterday admitting that he in fact had a U.S. passport. What's the palace reaction to this, and what will be the game plan of the president if indeed his appointment is rejected? Will he reappoint Yasay or will he find another secretary?
What was the preceding statement that you made? Who was making those?
Commission on Appointments, sir, in the Senate.
Was
it
verbalizing their opinion?
Yes, sir. It was Senator Ping Lacson who said that they believe na talagang nagkaroon siya ng U.S. citizenship and that it's likely for them to reject his appointment.
Well, I think they're speaking ahead of time. However, Mr. Secretary Yasay has already made a statement, and it was logical, credible, and open and transparent. He actually described the process of the process that he went through, and quoting his statement, it says, "As the affidavit dated February 23, 1993 said, I submitted to the U.S. Immigration and Naturalization Service attests the grant of U.S. citizenship to me on or about November 26 was invalid because of a preconceived intent to abandon, followed by the actual abandonment of my United States residency 3 months thereafter on January 8, when I returned to the Philippines for good as a Filipino."
Sir, but the issue here now is perjury because he admitted just in a TV interview that he had a U.S. passport when under oath in the Senate, he denied it. So the case is now more of perjury, not
well, let's
his
leave it to them.
okay.
On the other hand, I think what he was stating, as far as it was conveyed verbally, he said that he was granted, but he never really obtained it. Okay, he never really obtained it because there was intent to.
So if indeed the rejection of the appointment comes to pass tomorrow, what will be the president's second option? Will he reappoint the secretary?
Let's take each step at a time. Thank you.
Okay, Hannah? Microphone, please.
Sir, any update po dun sa cabinet meeting po?
Since we're talking about
Thank
it,
you
okay.
very much.
Two things. Let me just check my. One thing is about the smoking ban. Okay. Next. Basically, Secretary Obial was given the directive to make sure that Part 4 of the existing EO would be revised and to follow the Davao model. The one that they presented is allows for smoking indoors. The Davao model does not include for smoking indoors. And so that was revised, and so there will be no smoking indoors, Mr. Morong.
Dexter Ganibe, follow up.
All right, and just to finish, and it will be signed as soon as the president. The revision was already submitted at 8 a.m. this morning to Office of the Executive Secretary, and then it will be signed as soon as the president comes back. I think he's in Sulu right now. Well, I'm sorry. Where is he? No. I'm sure. As soon as he comes to office, that's what I'm saying.
Dexter Ganibe.
Sir, may binabanggit kayo mayroon pang other updates dun sa cabinet meeting?
Come again?
Other updates ba dun sa cabinet meeting?
Basically, it was a discussion on the contingencies of the GOCCs. It was a very graphic presentation. I think the DOF should make the same presentation here.
Mhm. Sir, yung sa National Broadband Plan, anong detalye nun? Papapasukin na po ba sa bansa yung ibang players?
Yung alin?
Ibang telecom
Well,
players?
the intent is to really make sure that the Philippines is wired, but however, a few things need to be addressed. Okay.
Doon sa smoking ban lang, sir, follow-up lang. Pag napirmahan yun, sir, mawawala na yung mga designated smoking areas sa mga national government agencies?
Dapat siguro sa labas. Hindi sa loob. sa labas.
Pero public place din sa labas.
Hindi, in other words, hindi sa loob ng building. Okay, may i-reserve na ano. Yun yata yun, na walang bubong. Para hindi mangangamoy, for example, katulad ng press room, gano'n.
Okay, thank you, Dexter.
Thank you.
Jenaline Kabiling, Manila Bulletin. Microphone.
Sir, just quick dun sa bribery attempt. May we just know the palace position on bribery? Trying to bribe the president or other government officials?
Well, I think that's very obvious because the president puts priority on anti-crime, anti-corruption, and anti-illegal drugs. That's part of his three-point campaign promise, right? So there's a very high premium on that. So does that answer your question?
Sir, do you have any warning to businessmen or other groups trying to bribe any government official?
They should be scared.
Sir, why? Why, sir?
Because the law will come down full force upon them.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Joseph, wait lang. Follow up. JP Bencito.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Sir, there were reports that allegedly Mighty Corporation had faked some tax stamps for their cigarettes. Sir, what will be the next steps of the palace given this big incident na almost half of the market has been polluted or merong fake tax stamps? Anong magiging next step ng palace?
Everything goes through due process.
Joseph Morong?
Sir, I'll go by your statement kanina with regard to the bribery, that you said that there was an attempt to influence him financially. But I wasn't able to catch it if he rejected the...
Of course he did.
I just want the sound bites, sir. And then you said, sir, that if there are bribery attempts, the full force of the law will come down on whoever.
This is part of the president's campaign, yes.
With regard to this incident, sir, what is the president going to do with that attempt?
I'm sure the full force will start to grind.
Start to grind. Starting grind now, sir?
I suppose so, yes.
Okay, last two questions. Dexter Ganibe and Laila Salaveria, and then Ace Romero.
2 points lang, sir. Follow up dun kay
Opo.
JP. Dun sa mga tax stamps na sinasabing na peke, di po ba ang tax stamps ang gumagawa ay ang PCOO?
Hayaan po natin, hindi po natin masasagot yan at this stage, all right?
Alam ko may investigasyon na rin dati na isinagawa ang PCO. Ano nang resulta doon, sir?
Hayaan na lang po natin na ang korte ang siyang magbigay linaw sa kalagayan yan.
Sir, second point, last for my part. Kasi pag may mga cabinet meeting, may pinopost na mga video ang RTBM, kanina ko lang napansin din yung pinost na nakalagay doon na the prayer was led. Parang binanggit na may prayer, parang naantig yata yung cabinet doon sa prayer.
Lagi may prayer actually.
Pero doon sa post, sir, ngayon lang naglagay na the prayer was led by
Miss
Gina.
Yes,
parang may nagsabi din na parang may mga naantig doon sa wordings ng kanyang prayer. Can you share that, sir?
It was a very moving prayer, I mean. Well, actually, in the words of the president, it was a very poignant prayer. Poignant. Spell. No, poignant. Meaning, it was very moving. It was actually quite moving.
Laila Salaveria.
Why don't you ask her for a meditation course? No, but it was really a great, it was really a very moving prayer. Thank you.
Sir, speaking of Secretary Lopez,
Yes, ma'am.
there's a report that she pressured the DOE to release a permit for a solar energy project. What's the palace going to do about it, and will this affect the president's support for her?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know about regarding the matter, but I'm sure if as mentioned, it will be duly looked into.
By whom, sir?
By whom?
Who will look into this reported attempt?
The proper complaint has to be made.
A complaint has to be filed.
Yes.
Okay, follow up. JP, and then susunod si Ace, and then last question, Willard Cheng.
Hi, sir.
Yes,
sir. The secretary yesterday night verbalized...
Which secretary?
Secretary Lopez, sir.
Gina Lopez.
Gina Lopez, sir. Sir, she verbalized to the president her intention for the president to suspend the review of the mining review conducted by the MICC. Sir, what was the President's reaction to this pronouncements of the Secretary? What will be the next step of the palace in case?
It was not discussed in the cabinet meeting, so I cannot make any comments regarding that.
Sir, on ano na lang po, the Secretary has verbalized to Senator Pacquiao to move the confirmation hearings of hers to May. Since magkakaroon po ng parang she will be technically bypassed by the CA because of the Holy Week break, sir, can we expect the palace to reappoint Secretary Gina for an ad interim appointment by that time?
Well, let's wait for the right moment, and then the palace will move.
Okay, thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
JP. Last question na pala si Ace Romero.
Secretary Evasco just issued a statement against the NFA administrator, and nabanggit niya na parang nababypass yung council regarding some decisions regarding sa rice importation. Mag-a-appoint ba ng bagong NFA administrator si Presidente?
We will have to clarify that, okay? We'll also refer to OES. I'll take note of that question. Thank you.
Okay, pero
Please.
anong masasabi ng palasyo dun sa mga statements ni Secretary Evasco considering na siya mismo yung nagre-criticize sa mga officials ng NFA ngayon?
So, what is your question?
Yeah, what's the palace take on the issue? Yung mismo si
Well-
Evasco nang nag-criticize sa NFA?
Well, in effect, Mr. Evasco, Secretary Evasco is an alter ego of the president. So, if he makes a comment like that, then it must have some basis and must be given some weight.
So anong action ng palace doon? Hahayaan nyo lang or meron ba kayong gagawing action?
Ang alin?
Ang palasyo po.
Patungkol sa
Doon
NFA.
sa mga sinabi ni Secretary Evasco.
Hayaan po natin na antabayanan natin yung mga sumusunod na kabanata.
Sir, totoo na to. Last question na daw si Laila
Yes,
Salaveria.
Sir, we just want to ask
Yes,
for
ma'am.
clarification. You mentioned an attempt to bribe the president, but what was he asked to do? What was the bribe for?
Madam, it was within... No, it was really within the cabinet. It was within the cabinet meeting. So, really, the only reason why I refer to that is because somebody talked about it. Ordinarily, things like these are not discussed outside.
Who brought it up, sir? Was it the president himself?
Who brought up what? No, like I said, let's keep it within the confines. Okay, let's not add to something that has already been.
Sir, can we expect this to be made public? Because the president is very strongly anti-corruption.
Correct.
So,
He is very strongly anti-corruption. But let's leave it to him to make public statements. Okay.
Bakit parang ang lakas naman ng loob that they can go straight to the president? And who is this person, sir, during the bribery?
Ang lakas nga ng loob. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Malacañang Press Corps. Thank you, Chair Bukoy and Executive Director Versosa, back to our main studio sa Radyo ng Bayan at PTV4.